Hey, Real Sweet Crew, it's Rich Soderquist, and it was a great pleasure to meet John Hipsher when I was down at the Kayak Bass Fishing National Championship recently. He breaks down the Bonafide SS127 kayak and all of the custom YakAttack gear. Check it out. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. Ring that bell for notifications. Thanks again.
What'd you get, brother? Did you get a mug, Dave?
I did.
How sweet is that? That'll work. How's it going?
What's going on?
I'm doing it, man. I'm Rich Soderquist from. I'm doing good. I'm Rich Soderquist from Real Sweet Outdoors. You want to break down the Bonafide for me?
Man. Walk kind of.
Yeah, just walk.
You want me to talk about the boat? Or you want me to talk about the accessories?
Boat and then the accessories.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Well, I mean, this is my personal boat.
Sweet.
And then some background about me is that I've been with YakAttack for about 6 years. And
Okay.
I was the marketing manager for Bonafide for about 3 years.
Awesome.
So I was involved with the inception of the boat. You know, paddled the early prototypes that no one's ever seen.
Okay.
You
And
know,
tell
so
me your
it's,
your first and last name.
My name's John Hipsher.
Nice to meet you, John. I'm Rich.
Currently with YakAttack.
Very
Do a little
cool.
bit of everything, mostly marketing, but
Sweet.
help with some products, help with some overall strategy, what we make and why.
Awesome.
And, you know, for me, I've been kayak fishing for a number of years, so we bring real-world solutions to the anglers. So that's what we kind of pride ourselves in, is stuff designed for a purpose
Okay.
with an actual solution. So.
With
With the Bonafide itself, really the big thing is the overall hull design.
Okay.
It's called the hybrid catamaran hull or high cat hull. So you have your V hull in the front, and then it transitions more into your
Right.
pontoon. So, you know, for me, I mean, I've lost a fair amount of weight, but even at like 270 pounds,
Right.
I can put both feet on one side
Right.
and just sit there. So
Right.
stability is key. It also just creates comfort.
Right.
And whether you're floating the river or whether you're out here in big water like this, being comfortable on the water is key.
Very nice.
And when we designed it, kind of one of the things we wanted was with the double header hinges, we wanted to be able to access your gear on the water.
Okay.
But we also wanted to make it to where you could store rods on the inside as well.
Okay, that's
Or,
an
you know,
awesome feature right there.
Hook down paddles.
That's awesome.
Or your stakeout poles. So
Okay.
that was kind of one of the early easy home runs that we made, was the double header hinges.
You know, when I'm on the water and I'm watching them, they seem to sit so high, you know, high up compared to most. You know.
It's one, I would say it's one of the highest seats out there. I mean, very comparable to maybe your pro angler, but
Right.
I do always get those comments of people tracking me down on the water of, you know, what boat is that, because they're not used to being so high. And some people, I would say, like if you've never been in a kayak before, you transition to this immediately. You do feel overexposed, but that's just part of a sit on top kayak, but it's also part of being up top. But the initial stability is great, but the secondary stability in this boat is even more spectacular. So
Love it.
but still staying up at the bow of the boat. One of the things I always liked was the boss strap up here.
Okay.
It was a mix of having rod staging built in up top, tip protecting rod staging below.
Very nice.
And also your built-in kind of paddle park right there.
Like
So
that.
Kind of my setup, what I'm using is a Rotogroup paddle holder. And I elevate it a little bit because the problem with a couple of these boats is the track is too low for some of them. So this paddle will just sit there and dangle, so I like to snap it and rest it right there.
Yeah, it makes it nicer higher. Mine's low. I can see where that's.
You can grab it easy, you can just rest it on it, it's not going to go anywhere, so
Sure.
you snap it in place. And then so essentially, I mean, this is how I fished out of it pretty much 100% yesterday on the water.
Gotcha.
I wasn't filming. Typically I film other people, I don't film myself.
Right.
So I don't have all of the camera mounts, but it's the fish finder that I run, and it's built into that dry pod to where we came out with a new through-hole kit that makes it just super easy for running cables.
I like those.
Yeah, it makes it really, really clean, really simple. On the inside of it, I'm running our 10 amp hour Napa powered battery. It's
cool.
lithium and it weighs 1.1 pounds. Crazy lightweight for a 10 amp hour battery. And that whole kit comes with everything you need to attach it to your fish finder.
That is awesome.
And then we've got the YakAttack top-loading GT90 gear track covering the whole boat. And so on the right side, I've got my tractor.
Right.
Simple, easy track-mounted accessory where I put boga grips, I'll put fish grips, my tools, my pliers, just in case, just make sure I'm not dropping in the water.
Yeah, I use it for my phone. I got a little clip on it, and it gives me a little bit of peace of mind.
And then I would say one of the most overlooked products that I use more than anything is actually just our simple cup holder.
That's cool.
And on the track that attaches the junk drawer, and then I also added the YakAttack Mighty Mount XLs on the perch pads on the side because it's I'm not side casting for redfish. I don't need that extra height. As far as the perch pads themselves, I'm not standing up here personally.
Gotcha.
So I run 3 of the cup holders that one of them might have. I mean, yesterday was the thermocell.
Yeah.
I had one with a bunch of spent plastics and
Mine was,
that I'd use throughout the day.
Mine was in the truck. It should have been with me today.
A bottle of water in the next one. So it's something that I use a ton.
Isn't that thermocell the bomb though?
It's a solid product. I mean, it's not every bug, but I mean, as far as keeping the mosquitoes away and some of the bugs that are going to get you.
I do a fair amount of Great Lakes fishing. I'm from South Haven, Michigan, and so I run one in my bigger boat, and I'll tell you what, it keeps the black flies out.
For sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then with this specific boat, I am running a Torqueedo.
Okay.
So I installed some extra YakAttack GT125 gear track up front. This one's going to be for the motor lift up there to get it out of the water. And then I put our throttle mount, the Torqueedo throttle on that side. So
Okay.
the throttle just sits in the right place. If I had to paddle, I can paddle effectively around it. So
Very nice.
Nice, easy placement right there. And I mean, like you said earlier that back in the day when I was involved with this, as far as the seat, I mean, I got a bad back. I crushed my back downhill mountain biking a number of years ago.
Okay.
And also Luther, the president of Bonafide at the time, and also the president of YakAttack, he's got a bad back. We never talked about why, but his overall back's not in great condition. So we wanted to design a seat that was comfortable.
Right.
It had the right support, the right space, but a mixture of, you could have the most comfortable seat in the world, but it comes down to how your feet are positioned.
Sure.
So here, I mean, you can almost put your feet flat. For a lot of people, I mean, I'm 5'9", 5'10".
Right.
I'm crazy comfortable as far as
beautiful.
the position this boat where it's not putting too much pressure on my sciatica.
It's like totally ergonomic. It's crazy. The other thing I've added is that NRS Chinook, PFD.
Yeah.
And man, I'll tell you what, my back is like. I feel so much better. It's crazy.
Still to this day, even back in the day with me working retail, selling boats to people, like, all right, I just bought this kayak, what should I buy? I was like, I tell the same thing to people now as just bought a kayak, what PFD should I buy, and like what accessories? That's the main thing I'd purchase.
Yeah.
Comfortable PFD.
Yeah, a nice one. So I like the mount back here. Tell me about the YakAttack net. I've got one myself.
On the back, personally, I might run one of our Zuka tube rod holders up front, but I like the AR tubes in the back.
Okay.
On the right side, I always put our leverage landing net, and the angled lead-in on our AR tube that's meant to keep your casting reel in the upright position.
Gotcha.
Also works fantastic to keep my net in the same position every time. So when I grab it, I can always grab it in the right spot at the right space. And just overall with that net, really the big thing is the overall leverage. It puts your forearm in the right position. I shattered my wrist playing sports a long time ago. It functions, but it's not the best wrist in the world. I don't do well grabbing something straight and having it puts more of your wrist in play here.
Sure.
I'm strictly using my elbow and my shoulder, getting the leverage, and I can, if I had a straight arm, I'm not manipulating the net very well.
Sure.
But here, I can put my whole arm into
Right.
it.
Again,
So
ergonomics.
makes it easy, and then for storage, if you ever wanted, the whole thing breaks in half, and then deploys and snaps together.
That's what I like about it. It's in the truck, I can fold it up. Way to go.
And then in the past couple of years, I'd say about 3 years ago, we moved to a fully rubber net rather than rubberized.
Which is what I bought. I like it.
It makes it nice. And then this one has the extra extension on it to store vertically in a tube rod holder.
Very cool.
And then back here in the tank well, one thing that comes with a Bonafide, but you can always add them. It's something we sell in a 4-pack. It's called the Omni Hooks.
I like those.
It's something that we designed specifically when we launched Bonafide, but it's one that works great on like whether you have a regular milk crate, whether you use a black pack or
Okay.
if I'm going out fishing crappie and I have a 5-gallon bucket with an aerator,
Gotcha.
those snap on easy. But when we're gonna have a black pack, rather than having to take bungee and route it around, some rod holders, I just snap it into the slots on each corner, and it makes it simple.
Sweet.
So with that black pack, I've kind of customized a little bit. I put gear track on the top.
I like that.
That's where I like to put my
Right in the middle.
Busy
It's
Carbon
nice.
Pro, and it gets it up a little bit taller. But overall, this was, not as it sits right now, but this was the first YakAttack product.
Okay.
Back in the day, it was called the Busy Boy.
Right.
And kind of, back then, it was PVC construction. Really more as a hobby of, hey, I need a solution for something that didn't exist.
Okay.
There wasn't a whole lot of lights, especially lights for kayaks on the market then, and that was about 11 years ago.
Right.
And it kind of evolved into this, and we called it Busy Carbon Pro. And really where that comes from is the mast. The mast is made out of carbon tubing, and the whole thing has the construction like a tin.
Yeah. See, mine doesn't do that. It must be the older style.
So we sell three versions
Three
of our
versions?
visibility flags. One has no LED.
Okay.
It's $30. It's fantastic if you're
Right.
out there during the day and you don't paddle in low light visibility, no fog, or in the evenings. Then we also sell a fixed link version with a fiberglass tubing.
Very cool.
And it's a little bit taller. It's about 3.5 to 4 inches.
That's the
taller.
one I have.
Really, this one, really where it benefits is the portability.
Right.
So construction on the bottom, big foam base that makes it to where you drop it in the water, it's going to float.
Yep.
It's always key with being on the water is I want peace of mind that I'm not going to lose my gear. And then the same attachment method as most YakAttack products. We're using the YakAttack Mighty Bolt that slides right into our track or most
Standard
other factory installed kayak track. And then the light up top is it's got 2 LEDs in it, and it is powered by 3 AA's, and those come included, and you get about 100 hours of runtime. So
Cool.
fantastic runtime overall, and it's super easy to fold. So all you gotta do is fold it up. You find that notch right there, and then tuck it right over the light, and then it's
That's
tight,
awesome.
neat, and then the flag actually does become the carrying case.
That's so cool.
One thing a lot of people overlook, and then in general, I just take it and throw it in my crate. So
Man, that's the bomb right
just know
there.
it's there, and then this was what I was doing to kind of a mixed bag of fishing. But I would have I had a black pack. I had one that was gray. I had one that was tan, and I would have one of these in every one of them.
Right.
So one was dedicated to saltwater, one was freshwater, and one was kind of my river setup.
But whatever you grab, you're ready to go.
And I knew it was there.
Yeah,
So I knew
very
it was
cool.
in there. I knew it was stored.
That is very
And
cool.
then, once you get to the water, it's just super easy to deploy. All you do that, and you drop it.
This one's moving more water.
Yeah, that's so
Snaps in
cool.
place, so. This is kind of the product that built the brand, and it's evolved a little bit into this form. But overall, it's the one product that when I sell, people buy a new kayak, or back in the day when I used to sell it, so it was like, I need some accessories. What do I buy? Well, like we said earlier, a good comfortable PFD that's going to fit and feel good. The best paddle you can afford as far as weight, and then you need one of these.
Then you've got the Torqueedo. You're rocking that.
Yep, I decided on this boat. I mean, in 12, 13 years or whatever of kayak fishing, this is the first kayak that I've ever put a motor on. And for me, it was a mix of overworking myself and not getting enough time on the water where I want to maximize the amount of fishing I'm doing.
Sure.
But also, I wanted it for a photography boat to where I could truly be hands-free. I didn't have to. I could steer with my feet. I could 100% film people with my hands, and it's been fun. I mean, yesterday we went up a real tight, skinny creek, and we did about 4.5 miles upriver, and then went floated back down. So really couldn't have done that otherwise. We just spent hours dragging the boats upstream. So and that's the stock mount, and then we just put the rock guard on it yesterday in the parking lot. It made sense, and working the river. So.
Well, there's a lot of people that want to talk to you, and I don't want to take up all your time, but if our viewers want to get a hold of you, how do we get a hold of you?
Check us out at yakattack.us, and everything we do is made in the States, and it comes with our Built for Life guarantee.
Very cool. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, John, for all you did at the national championship. It was awesome. You truly represent YakAttack and Bonafide with the utmost integrity. We couldn't have done it without you. It was really awesome to watch you work. Thanks again for taking the time to do the interview. We really appreciate it.